Right now, as we speak, something huge is happening across the entire internet. It's this massive and almost completely invisible security upgrade. And it's basically a race against a future threat that could seriously unravel every single secret we're trying to protect online. So yeah, let's dive right in.
So just stop and think about this for a second. Every single thing you do online, I'm talking secure emails, bank transfers, even those private messages, they're all locked up tight with encryption, right? But what if that lock has an expiration date? What if someone, an adversary, could just scoop up all that scrambled data today and just sit on it, waiting for a super powerful machine to come along and crack it all open years from now?
Well, that exact scenario, it actually has a name. It's called Harvest Now, Decrypt Later. And that is why everyone is in such a rush. The thinking is that nation-states, really sophisticated attackers, are doing this right now. They're just hoarding mountains of encrypted data, basically making a bet that one day they'll get their hands on a key that unlocks everything.
And this really gets us to the heart of the problem. There's this crypto storm on the horizon, and the digital locks we use today, they were just never ever built to stand up to something like this.
Okay, so here's the really crucial part. When these big, powerful quantum computers finally become a reality, they're not just going to crack a few codes here and there. No way. They're going to literally shatter the mathematical foundations that our entire digital world is built on. I mean, everything. Banking, government secrets, you name it. It's all suddenly at risk.
So the obvious question is, right, why don't we just switch to some new quantum-proof encryption? And well, that's where things get tricky. We run headfirst into this big paradox, and it's a huge challenge for anyone trying to build our future security.
Okay, so picture it like this. On one side, you've got our current stuff, classical cryptography. Think RSA, ECC, these are the old pros, the workhorses that have kept the internet safe for decades. We know them inside and out, we trust them. The problem, we also know they're sitting ducks for a quantum computer. Then on the other side, you've got the new kid on the block, post-quantum cryptography, or PQC. These are designed from the ground up to resist quantum attacks, using totally different math that we think is safe. But that's the key word, right? Think. They're new. They just haven't been through decades of battle testing in the real world.
And this quote just nails the dilemma perfectly. We absolutely can't wait around, not with that harvest now, decrypt later threat breathing down our necks. But at the same time, we can't just throw all our chips on something brand new and unproven. I mean, what if we find some massive flaw in it a year from now? And that right there is the paradox that's forcing this whole conversation.
So what do you do when you're faced with a paradox like that? It's pretty smart, actually. You don't pick one, you pick both. And that brings us to what's famously called the belt and suspenders solution. It's our bridge to get to a quantum-safe future.
I love this analogy because it's so simple and makes so much sense. Experts call it the belt and suspenders approach for a reason, right? You really don't want your pants falling down, so you use both, just in case one of them fails. Well, we're applying that exact same common sense logic to protecting the world's most sensitive data.
So let's be clear about what this is. Hybrid cryptography isn't one single newfangled algorithm. Nope, it's a strategy. You take the old, trusted classical algorithm and you pair it up with a new post-quantum one. You use them in tandem. So now, to break the encryption, an attacker has to defeat both of them. They have to pick two totally different kinds of locks at the same time. Good luck with that.
So what does this actually look like when you, say, connect to a website? Well, in a super simplified way, your computer is having two conversations at once. It does a key exchange using the good old classical method, let's say ECDH, and gets one secret key. At the exact same time, it does another key exchange using a new post-quantum algorithm, maybe something like Kyber. Now you've got two keys, and the final step? It just smashes them together mathematically to create one single ultra-secure master key for the session.
And here's the real genius of it. Let's say, 10 years from now, a quantum computer comes along and totally breaks that classical algorithm. No problem. The post-quantum part is still holding strong. Or what if tomorrow, some researcher finds a clever bug in the brand new PQC algorithm? Again, no big deal. Our tried and true classical crypto is still there, protecting the data. It's the ultimate safety net.
And look, this isn't just some theory cooked up in a lab. This upgrade is happening right now, under the hood of the technology you and I use every single day.
The absolute core protocols that make the internet work are getting this hybrid treatment.
You know that little lock icon in your browser's address bar? That's TLS. It's getting the upgrade. SSH, the tool that sysadmins use to securely log into servers all day. It's getting the upgrade. And those VPNs that secure pretty much every major corporation's network? Yep, them too.
And it's the big players who are really pushing this forward. I mean, Google and Cloudflare have been running live experiments on web traffic with this stuff for years. Apple just made a huge splash announcing it's bringing post-quantum security to iMessage. And OpenSSH, a tool millions of developers rely on, actually made this hybrid approach the default way back in 2022. This is not future tech. It's happening as we speak.
All right, so what's the long-term game plan here? Because this isn't just flipping a switch. This is a carefully planned, decade-spanning migration for the entire digital world. The experts kind of see this whole thing rolling out in 4 big waves. We're in wave 1 right now. This is all about experimentation, kicking the tires, getting prepared. Then, starting around 2025, we hit wave 2, where we'll see the first real deployments. Wave 3, from 2030 to 2035, is when it goes mainstream, broad rollouts, fine-tuning everything. And then, the final goal, wave 4, is sometime after 2035. That's the dream, a world running only on post-quantum crypto, where we can finally let the old stuff retire.
And this is a super important point to remember. Top security agencies, like the NSA, are being really explicit about this. This whole belt and suspenders thing, it's a temporary measure. It's a fantastic bridge to get us to a fully quantum-safe world, but it is not the final destination.
And this quote really sums it all up. Hybrid cryptography isn't where we want to stay forever. It's how we get where we need to go. It's the strategy that buys us the 2 things we need most right now: confidence and continuity. It lets us move forward without breaking everything.
So, the next time you see that little lock in your browser, just remember this massive invisible upgrade that's happening behind the curtain. The entire internet is being re-engineered for a quantum future. And it leaves you with a pretty big question, right? As this incredibly complex transition unfolds over the next decade, are we actually going to be ready for it?